I swore I would never ever bill.
We're back with Dr. George Kraft for another episode of Get Real to Heal. We're going to take a deeper dive on brain health. Stay tuned. Yeah, insurance. Yeah, we'll touch on that. Let's talk about that.
Yeah.
This is Amanda LaPlante, and you're listening to Get Real to Heal on KWRHLP 92.9 FM. And with me again is Dr. George Kraft of Kraft Holistic Wellness and Diagnostics. Welcome to another episode.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, glad to have you. So in the previous episode, for anyone that's listening and maybe missed that, you can go to soundcloud.com/getrealtoheal here in about a week or so and check out that episode so that you can hear Dr. Kraft's incredible story of recovery from a brain aneurysm, and then coming back into practice and now specializing in helping people to reverse cognitive decline and many other wonderful things through your functional medicine practice. So very glad to have you here to share some more of your knowledge.
Thank you.
So, all right, and let's start this episode by talking about the fact that health and science, specifically neuroscience, runs in your family.
True.
Yeah. So tell us a little bit about growing up with your mom and all of the wonderful things that you've learned.
Well, we moved to St. Louis in 1967 from New Delhi, India, and my mom already
You said India, not Indiana.
Yeah, India.
New Delhi, India.
Yes.
That's amazing. Were you born there?
No, I was born in Ann Arbor, Michigan.
Okay.
My father was a grad student at University of Michigan, and he took a job with the UN in '66. We spent a year in New Delhi, and then he decided to take a job teaching political science at WashU to finish his PhD. And actually, my mom decided to get her PhD in audiology from WashU, and was working at CID, Central Institute for the Deaf, down at Barnes, and she transferred that into creating the entire cochlear implant program at WashU.
And your mom's name?
Dr. Marco Skinner.
Yeah. And you mentioned to me, so in her work, she worked with someone who basically started the whole neuroplasticity notion.
Yes.
Talk a little bit about that.
Dr. Michael Merzenich worked with her to find the frequency that the brain could understand coming from the implant as hearing, because the implant is hardwired directly to the auditory nerve. Mm-hmm. And so they had to figure out through trials with actually chinchillas to figure out the frequency.
Chinchillas?
Chinchillas. They have an identical hearing structure to humans.
Really?
Yes.
That's fascinating.
That's what I thought.
Huh. Yeah, I had no idea.
I didn't either.
Okay, so cochlear implants. So, and for anyone that is listening that doesn't know what a cochlear implant is, they've probably seen them, right? It's pretty easy to see those, and it's just such an amazing technology.
Yeah.
How can you describe those a little bit?
They're usually
a few inches kind of back.
Right behind the ear into the mastoid process. They drill a hole into the middle ear and hardwire the implant to the auditory nerve, so that the implant picks up the sound and transfers it directly to the brain through the auditory nerve. And I met one of her first patients, who was a 99-year-old gunner on a battleship in World War II, who had lost 100% of his hearing and had 85 to 90% of it back.
Wow.
I know.
What did you met him?
Yeah, I met him and talked to him.
What did he say?
He just said, "This is amazing."
Yeah, I can't even imagine what that would be like. Just awesome.
Yeah.
So great things run in your family. Pretty impressive.
You know, she was very impressive.
Yeah. All right. So was that your inspiration for wanting to become a doctor?
No, I played 8 years of college hockey and was so beat up and battered and injured that I sought chiropractic care in Atlanta when I was down there, and that's where I went to undergrad at Georgia State, and then I started grad school at Leaky University in Atlanta, and I took a cross check to my jaw, which misaligned my teeth for almost 6 months. So I had to get my jaw adjusted to get it to work again correctly.
That's a heck of a hit.
Yeah.
Wow.
My feet went above my head, and the first thing to hit the ice was the back of my head.
Oh, yeah.
It was a mess.
Now, that makes me have a question here. So, you suffered an aneurysm. Concussions, aneurysms, all of those brain health issues related?
This one they diagnosed as what's called an AVM, an arterial venous malformation from birth. So there was a malformation in the arterial system in my brain from birth that just went boom one night, and that was that.
How common is something like that?
I don't know. I don't know the statistics on that.
Yeah, I've never heard that.
But surviving one when I was home alone, that's pretty rare.
Yeah.
I'm very blessed for that reason.
Well,
God kept me around for some reason.
Well, I think I know the reason. You're helping a lot of people and changing a lot of lives. So.
That could be, yeah.
Yeah. That feels like the meaning to me. All right, so let's talk about in your practice. So you really, one of your specializations, one of the things you love to do is reversing cognitive decline.
Yes.
All right, so talk to me a little bit about, I think a lot of people, it's just hard to wrap their head around the fact that that's doable.
Mm-hmm. Well, it's very doable when you know how the brain functions and how God designed us to adapt and survive and recover.
Yeah. So when we're talking about conditions like Alzheimer's, for instance, or dementia, do the drugs really ultimately help?
No. There are thousands of failed drugs that don't even come close to touching what is the real root cause of what's going on.
Yeah, so in your opinion, pharmaceuticals not the route. What is?
Finding the root cause of the inflammation, optimizing hormonal and nutritional support for the brain, so that by our actions we tell our brain, I'm going to support you in all of your hundreds of trillions of synapses up there so that you stay healthy.
Yeah.
Well, plus not only that, but the thought processes, get rid of the stinking thinking and the bad thoughts.
The stinking thinking, I like that. I'm going to use that. Yeah, and by the way, what are your favorite ways to help people with the stinking thinking and the bad thoughts?
Meditation is really good.
Same.
A friend of mine introduced me to a Twin Hearts meditation that I do, several times a week.
Twin Hearts meditation.
Yes.
And what's that?
It's just being thankful that you're blessed and just getting rid of the bad thoughts and.
So it's just gratitude, presence, grounding.
Yes.
That type of a meditation. Okay, I have practiced several different types, and I find it to be completely transformative for myself as well. It's really helped with my inflammatory conditions and with my stinking thinking and lots of other issues. So it's amazing how that mind-body connection is such a real thing.
Oh, it is. It is. I mean, if you look at something like fibromyalgia, that's the root cause of a lot of fibromyalgia is an overwhelmed central nervous system with old emotional scars and neurotoxicity.
I believe that. I believe that. I think I'm 2.5-ish years into trauma therapy and working through some thoughts, and the more that I get my mindset right, the less pain I have in my body, and it's a very real correlation that I can witness to.
Yep. Mindset is everything. If you believe you can't, you can't. If you believe you can, you usually can.
Yeah, it's awesome. Talking about, okay, so diet, lifestyle, some of the most powerful medicine in your opinion.
Mm-hmm. Food is medicine.
Agreed, yeah.
And you can't out-supplement a bad diet.
Yeah. What's your thought on that though? So, there's an argument out there that a lot of food is just nutrient deficient now, just because of the way it's farmed, grown, our food
Mm-hmm.
chain, our supply systems. Do you recommend supplementation?
Very much so, yeah. You really can't optimize your nutrition or your body, even with organic food, because the soil's been so depleted, it's not the same it was 100 years ago when everybody was eating organic.
Yeah. Now we need that label, but it used to just be food.
Yep.
Yeah, it's just
And
crazy to think about.
some people tell me, organic's expensive, and I have a caption on my website that it's an organic farmer. Says, if you think organic is expensive, have you priced cancer lately?
Yeah. I have to say, the more that I've cleaned up my diet and just eat as clean as I possibly can,
Mm-hmm.
the less time and money I spend at the pharmacy and at the doctor's office.
Yep.
Not that I don't enjoy seeing lovely people like yourself, but the more that I can do that on my own, the better I am. It's
Most
amazing
definitely.
how much power we do have over our health if we want to take that and grab it and seize it.
I agree.
All right, so let's talk about, you use, when you are working on cognitive decline, reversing that, you use, and we talked about this in the previous episode a bit, so if people want to kind of jump back to that and hear a little bit more, you use Dr. Bredeson's protocols and method as a lot of your basis. His RECODE program. All right, and you were telling me a story before we started rolling again.
Mm-hmm.
You were saying something about Dr. Bredeson's wife and just giving me a little background on him and that story, and I thought it was great. Would you share that?
Sure.
Yeah.
From what I understand, I've never talked to Dr. Bredesen myself, but I've seen interviews with him and read his book, and that his wife is a primary care medical doctor, and they were having a discussion because he's done Alzheimer's research for 30 years
At UCLA.
at UCLA, and she said, he said that I'm going to find the one molecule that is causing Alzheimer's.
And this is like 20 years ago, right, as he began his journey. Yeah.
So he says, no, I'm going to find the one molecule, and she said, nope, it's going to be something like diet, lifestyle, and exercise. And he's shaking his head no. And he went through all of the medical research and looking for answers, and sure enough, it turned out that the drugs don't even touch what the real cause is, because they're not barking up the right alley. Because they're trying to prevent the plaquing or get rid of the plaquing, and the plaquing is just the brain's way of protecting itself. It's a response to the inflammatory issues.
Okay.
And so.
And let's talk about, I think a lot of people that listen to the show regularly probably are on track with the fact that sugar, carbs, there's a lot of diet-related issues that drive inflammation. But how do you, if you've got somebody new that comes in and they're like, wait, what, I can't have sugar? And no more processed carbs? What do you mean? Why? How do you explain how that drives this disease?
Well, think of a car that burns gas for fuel to make it go. Well, we burn, food and energy, and our exhaust are what are called free radicals. Free radicals need antioxidants to calm them down from damaging our mitochondria and causing an oxidative stress. Oxidative stress is like the rusting of an old car from the inside out. And so I say that the more processed sugar and foods that you eat with chemicals that have changed the gluten in our world, the gluten now is not recognized by our body as a real food. It's recognized by our immune system as a foreign substance, and it needs to be attacked. And so that can lead to a lot of different. Sorry, I'm going down a different rabbit hole.
No, that's fine. I like this rabbit hole too. Let's jump.
So all these different chemicals cause our system to overreact and cause an autoimmune response so that our immune system starts attacking us
Yeah.
mistakenly. And we need to figure out, okay, where is this happening metabolically in the chain, and figure out what sort of supplement, like what's called a PRP. I don't know if you've heard of PRPs. They're protein-rich polypeptides.
Yep. Okay.
That are designed to hit the reset button on our immune system. They're found in colostrum and colostrum-type products, things like that. And they do a real good job at redirecting the immune system and actually healing the gut. So that's what colostrum is designed for. But baby's first milk, it's meant to tighten up those tight junctions so that the gut can handle real food coming down.
So that we don't have that leaky gut situation
Exactly.
that can happen and frequently does nowadays.
Exactly.
Yeah. By the way, how do you test for leaky gut?
I have a test called a gut zoomer that looks for different chemicals like a zonulin reaction, and that tells me that the autoantibodies are breaking down those tight junctions and the inflammation is present, and if zonulin's in the blood, then there's most likely a leaky gut reaction going there, and stuff is sneaking into the bloodstream and the immune system's just going crazy.
So zonulin is a big red flag.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. How long has a condition like Alzheimer's or dementia really been present before we start to see symptoms?
Long time, 10, 20, 25 years before you start to see major symptoms. And over that time, the brain has begun to protect itself by creating these tangles and fibers, that are plaques that build up to protect itself.
Okay. And okay, so we know diet and lifestyle, right? You're going to say, because I'm going to ask, okay, well, how do we prevent that? And you're going to say diet and lifestyle. So, when you sit down with somebody, what are your must-dos? Like must right away. First things to change.
First thing to change, depending on their test results and what their food testing says, they may need to adjust what they've been eating. Like the musts are processed sugars, artificial sugars, things like that. Anything with NutraSweet.
Yep. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, good old NutraSweet.
Yeah.
All those artificial
all the
sweeteners.
diet stuff.
Yeah.
I tell my patients, if it says sugar-free diet or fat-free, run like hell.
just
It's full
don't
of
even.
It's full of chemicals.
Yeah. It's so interesting how we've.
Or even gluten-free these days, because they're filling it with all sorts of other stuff to replace the gluten.
And charging a premium for it.
Yep.
Making it cheaply, charging a premium because they know it's a hot topic right now.
Yep.
It's a trend. But it's not really a trend. So, it's here to stay. I know for me, at least, it has completely changed my life. Completely and totally transformed my life by removing gluten from it. And sugar. Yeah.
And that's a tough one. I mean, that's probably the toughest one, is getting rid of the sugar, because I didn't know this until they just started advertising it. And I don't drink anymore, but they make light beer with corn syrup.
Yeah, I've seen the commercials. Yeah. My husband
I
was
wasn't
like,
aware.
"What?" Yeah, I had no idea either. I didn't know that. And corn syrup being such a ferocious toxin in itself, because it goes straight to the liver, right?
And the liver says, I don't know what to do with this. I'm just going to make it into fat and keep it here.
Yeah, and so we get this fatty liver disease, which is driving what my husband refers to as, he used to call it the Bud blister, but now we know Bud doesn't use corn syrup in their beer. So thank you for the advertisements. That's helpful. We'll have to change our nickname for it. But yeah, it's that fatty liver disease that we're seeing that's starting to run rampant.
Yeah.
It's a strange world that we live in.
It is.
Yeah, for sure. All right, so in your health journey, I'm going to kind of take a hard left here, or hard right. you were talking earlier about Feldenkrais therapy. Am I saying that right?
Yes, Feldenkrais. Dr. Moshe Feldenkrais from Israel.
What is Dr. Feldenkrais
Well,
therapy?
Feldenkrais is a small movement therapy that reconnects the brain to the body. So
How?
just through,
Tell me more.
through small movements that the therapist makes with the body.
Okay.
My therapist will work with my extremities and test them and challenge them to see if they're connected, skeletally with other parts of the body.
Okay.
And sorry, Joni, but I'm probably butchering this explanation.
It's okay.
It really has. I've been able to retire my leg brace. I had a carbon graphite leg brace on my left leg that I retired about a year and a half ago.
Congratulations on that. Yeah. And so for anyone that is tuning into this episode and didn't catch that previous episode, again, kind of referring back to Dr. Kraft's, his health journey through surviving the aneurysm, you losing the entire use of the left side of your body, right?
Right, and I was left-handed.
And you were left-handed?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Okay, you just, like, my mind is blown. So, so you had to not only learn to walk again, do all of these, think again in some ways, and then you also had to learn how to write with your non-dominant hand.
Uh-huh. And adjust one-handed with my non-dominant hand.
Wow. It's been a long journey then for you. Yeah. Huh. And it took you, you said 7 years.
7 years.
To get back to where you could get back into practice.
Correct.
Full time. Yeah.
And even then, I probably jumped in about a year or two early.
And why do you say that?
Because it just I don't know if I was ready or not, and I just said, okay, I'm going to do this, God willing or not, and I did. And it's taken me a long time to really, find my middle, gravity point.
Yeah. And so just your passion for wanting to help and treat and get in there and help other people.
Well, I told my kids that, God didn't save me to retire and just hang around. I've got I'm a lifelong learner, and they always tell me, you're going to another class? I'm like, yeah.
Yep, still doing that. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, and I feel the same way. I feel like with what I went through, it was just such a crazy journey that, and to have seen the world through so many different sets of eyes, through this, for me, through the eyes of someone who was 50 pounds overweight, through the eyes of someone who struggled with mental illness, anxiety, depression, ADD, even at one point told bipolar, through the eyes of someone who's had extreme, severe pain to the point that I couldn't walk in the mornings, or unable to get out of bed because of my inflammatory conditions, and really missing out on life as a mom and as a person. To be able to come through all of that completely revitalized and see that there's another way. I couldn't wait to get out there and share that with the world. So
Exactly.
I can identify with your passion and your drive in that regard, for sure. For sure. Do you have any other last minute thoughts, things that you'd like to share? You've shared so much today, but I'd love to know what else is lingering in your...
There's just so much more to learn and do to help people, and that's what I'm here for, is to help people recover their health.
We're lucky to have you here, and it's been great to have you sitting across from me today.
Thank you.
Yeah.
My pleasure.
Dr. George Kraft, tell everyone how they can reach you.
My cell phone is what I'm using for my practice right now, which is 314-397-1682. As it's going off.
They're calling already. So, all right, so your phone number again?
314-397-1682.
Okay, and you're located in?
Creve Coeur.
Yep, in the process of switching offices to Creve Coeur. And what's your address there?
It's 12401 Olive Boulevard. It's in the Tempo Medical Building, caddy corner across from Fridays.
Okay, and if they'd like to find you online or on Facebook?
At Kraft Holistic Wellness and Diagnostics.com.
Okay. All right, Dr. Kraft, thanks for joining me.
Thank you very much.
This has been Amanda LaPlante. You've been listening to Get Real to Heal on KWRH LP 92.9 FM. For more information from me or to contact me, find me online at amandalaplante.com or on facebook.com/getrealtoheal. You can find this and other episodes of Get Real to Heal at soundcloud.com/getrealtoheal. And you can also reach me by phone anytime, 314-583-6749. I do offer a free 30-minute consultation for health coaching, and I'd be happy to answer any questions you have. Go out and make it a great day. Cool. Okay. Awesome.
Wow.
Thanks again.
Thank you.
Let's see if we have any questions here. Hey, Aunt Betty. All right. Make it a great day.